Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews and Off Times Reminisces. The world needs more owls, I think. You may be lucky where you live to have lots of owls. And to be fair, I don't get owls in caves because they're called bats. But if I go out and about, I can often hear owls, but you don't very often see them. But anyway, we need more owls, and any album that has an owl on it is going to get me to click on it. So all you people who have got records out there who want who want me to listen to your record, put an owl on it. But anyway, Namebearer, and the album cover was enough to click on it. I'd have clicked on it anyway probably, but the owl hastened the desire to do so, and you know, I quite like what was in there, so let's have a listen, shall we? See why. I quite like, very often in fact, to hear more modern takes on a genre, and this, for me, I mean, I might be totally wrong here, but for me this feels like a sort of a smack bang up to date take on black metal. I mean, I'll mention it because it's more or less staring me in the face. The guy refers to this as a raw silver metal, whatever that means, but who am I to argue? But the fact remains, it is a very contemporary sounding way of playing the genre. So far it reminds me of a flooded river. At the beginning it was a bit like where a flood has picked up lots of debris, filth and what have you, and has caught itself in an eddy, and so you've got all that broken stuff floating or swirling around in an eddy before it freed itself, and then we had a full-on surge of all sorts of unpleasantness, but of course it's unpleasantness that delights the ear. Yeah. So although at its core is black metal, there's all sorts being chucked in here, and I have to sort of make, although the whole song is something that I enjoy, there are parts of it that give you an extra peak of enjoyment, and that bass rumble we had a minute or so ago was a case in point. Very simple in its execution, but so effective with it. When the vocals get to the shouty end, rather than the shrieky, growly stuff, it gives it another element as well, which again makes it just that little bit different. I suppose you could say there's hardcore element in here as well, but it don't really matter, does it? If you enjoy it, doesn't matter what it is or where it comes from, what it's got in it. Just rejoice in the joy of music. Why don't you? I have to mention this now because there's a nice abrasive bit just started, but before I forget, owls. Not only do they draw you into an album, maybe they create a commonality to the musician and what they produce, because that last section reminded me of something, and it reminded me of Luna Aurora. And it reminded me particularly of Hogsackt, which, as you know, has got a blooming owl on it. Are these all the same person? I wonder. So sometimes it's you listen to things and get caught up in them, and certain aspects of it just pass you by. And here the it's I'm only just really noticing that this is quite a heavy song. No, can't even say it. No small part down to the bass, which is hawser thick as it's rumbling along, and it's a nice rounded rumble as well. But the whole song, going back to my original analogy, is a bit like that debris being caught up in eddies and then releasing itself and flowing again. And there's all sorts of little aspects that come and go on this. It's certainly not a linear listen, and subtle changes, not even subtle, I wouldn't call them subtle, I suppose, but changes you perhaps have to listen for, maybe, or this, I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say, there are changes that you could miss. Yeah, so there's a really, really gritty guitar sound just now, almost like very early sort of punk rock, where something like Crass on the Feeding of the 5000, it was that sort of gritty, sort of very elemental, basic sound. But the that was just a brief part to this whole, and again, it's one of those songs where you can either let it just take you along for the ride and just enjoy it, or you can, as I am doing now, pay more attention to it, being thrilled by different aspects as they reveal themselves. So there you go. Because of the way that this album is produced, it would be easy to miss out on the fact that it's still quite raw. It's just the way the elements are put together sometimes hides the fact, but there is no shininess to this whatsoever, really. Not even peaks of it. You might get the odd sort of soft glow somewhere very briefly, but by and large this is quite dark and And as I say, it is raw. It is, but a lot of the raw stuff I listen to now doesn't have that oomph to it in the same way that this does. So yes, again, a little bit of a different take on the genre. I mean, living down here in a cave, sometimes I miss things, and so this might be typical, and I'm just missing things, but I don't think so. But anyway, well worth a listen for you. The 3 songs on the EP are all worth a listen, so go and do it. Clicky bollocks, catch you next time. Cheerio.